If you were downtown this weekend, you may have seen a lot of people on two wheels, but they weren't riding bikes.
No, they weren't. Let's head to the live desk. Maria Lisignoli joins us with this breakdown of the so-called scooter takeover that was happening this weekend.
Yeah, the question is, was this a fun night of socializing or a safety hazard? Now, you may have seen these videos on social media. Hundreds of people flooding the streets of Minneapolis on scooters and e-bikes. The fun night for many ended with some alarming moments as people scootered down 35W. The TikToker who started the event says fun was the main goal.
Saturday night, a lot of people like to, go out club, party, but why not ride scooters in the city, all your friends? I don't support that. I support everyone being in the city, just having fun. Obviously not blocking traffic, causing a ruckus. Going down the highway, that's not what I support. I support people having fun.
State Patrol called it extremely dangerous and says that scooters are not allowed on the freeway. Minneapolis police didn't arrest anyone, but say some of the riders were reckless and disruptive. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll hear more from the TikToker responding to safety concerns and whether or not he's going to host another takeover.
Okay, well, thank goodness everyone was okay, because that could have ended a whole lot different. Thanks, Maria. A teen is recovering after a shooting sent him to the hospital. It happened Sunday morning. Police say they were called to the Marcy Holmes neighborhood of Minneapolis a little before 3. They say an 18-year-old man was standing near 6th Avenue Southeast and 2nd Street Southeast when he heard gunshots and was hit. He says he didn't know who fired the shots. No one has been arrested.
Also under investigation this morning, a fire that started on the 3rd floor of a Minneapolis apartment building. Sunday's fire, you see here, charred windows, left a mess behind at the Portland Avenue building. A firefighter did go to the hospital with a non-life-threatening injury. Fire crews say the fire damaged 4 units. No residents were hurt.
Tomorrow, Minnesota and Wisconsin voters will choose which candidates will represent them in November. Both parties are in overdrive, and political analysts say there are still plenty of time for surprising upsets.
Well, Republican political analyst Amy Frederickson says one of the biggest surprises might be the race for Minnesota's Republican nomination for governor. Party-endorsed Kendall Qualls is polling in 3rd place. Frederickson says House Speaker Lisa Dameth has been closing the gap with frontrunner Mike Lindell.
We see the undecided slowing, getting smaller, and Lisa's numbers growing, and right at exactly the same time.
And so at the right time.
And at exactly the right time. So with this momentum and still 16% undecided, it's entirely possible that she closes that gap by Tuesday.
And on the DFL side, Senator Amy Klobuchar is all but guaranteed the nomination. Political analyst Abu Amira compared funding between her and the leading Republicans. He says the lack of GOP donations proves the party is not confident in their chances.
Her $3.4 million is strong, but the fact that the others are really in the hundreds of thousands says Minnesotans don't think they can win.
Wisconsin is watching a nail-biting race. Democratic Socialist Francesca Hahn is in the lead to secure her party's nomination for governor. Establishment Democrats worry this could hand the race to Republicans. Frederickson says they could be wrong.
If she's on the ballot in November, it's not just going to be bad for Wisconsin Democrats, it's going to be bad for national Democrats.
So what does that mean for Republicans? I always say be careful who you wish for to be on the ballot against you, because if someone is exciting and charismatic, it can come back to bite you.
For Republicans, polls favor Tom Tiffany to secure the nomination. A Marquette University Law School poll shows Hahn trailing or tying with Tiffany. See more of the discussion and other predictions from our political analysts ahead in Talking Points.
Time is 6:06 and tensions remain high in the Middle East this morning. President Trump says the U.S. is low-keying it with Iran, even as the country demands concessions before reopening the Strait of Hormuz.
CBS News' Bradley Blackburn tells us this comes as Israel has rejected a U.S.-backed peace plan with Gaza.
The 15-point Israel-Gaza peace plan that President Trump hailed as historic, now rejected. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made the announcement Sunday at a cabinet meeting, saying his forces will not withdraw from Gaza until Hamas is truly disarmed. This as there are growing fears that war could be spreading in the Middle East. Smoke rose over the Yemeni port of Mocha after a deadly strike by Iran-backed Houthi rebels. While over the weekend, President Trump told Axios the U.S. is, quote, semi-negotiating and low-keying it with Iran, describing the back and forth as a chess game and predicting it will work out. On CBS News, Republican Senator Bill Cassidy called on the president to lay out his plans.
I think the president needs to come out and speak forcefully on what the path forward is. And at some point, it may be that path forward works or not. But at least there needs to be that dialogue with the American people.
Iran's foreign minister insists Tehran is not negotiating with the U.S., though Iran is in the final stages of reaching a deal with Oman over management of the Strait of Hormuz. But he says the vital shipping route won't be opened until the U.S. meets its demands, which include compensation for damages caused by U.S. strikes. Over the weekend, Iranian state media released rare, undated video of the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei. CBS News could not independently verify it. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Across the country, nearly 100 large wildfires continue to burn. This is straining resources, and it's continuing to threaten communities and homes. Families in Spokane, Washington, preparing to return to their homes after wildfires destroyed more than 900 homes. Crews there continuing to focus on hotspots, making sure the flames do not return. More than 40 uncontained wildfires are burning in the Pacific Northwest right now. And down south in Utah, 2 firefighters died. That's after their helicopter crashed as they tried to drop water on the flames.
The U.S. Forest Service says it will reopen 1,500 campsites in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness on August 13th as part of the Phase 7 plan. That includes several entry points, including the Kawashiwi and LaCroix districts. The Forest Service has a full list of the closures and reopenings on its website. And of course, we'll continue to bring you the latest on the Northland wildfires on air and online at WCCO.com.